So, Governor full of shit, Cuomo, gets caught in a politically damaging scenario where his idiotic, moronic, insane decision to put COVID-19, the common flu, to put the flu patients in with granny and grandpa and killed, 12, 13, 14, 15,000, 20,000 senior citizens. So he just lies about it. And not only does he lie about it, but he hides all the public records. He intentionally refuses to open up the public records on the use of New York State's dams and rivers to flush vast amounts of sewage down the St. Lawrence Seaway with the Moses Sanders Dam, flushing the Great Lakes, and the coffer dam systems all up and down the Hudson River to flush the Hudson River. And then let's see, he's got massive gargantuan amounts of sewage and slop and industrial waste and chemicals and agricultural runoffs in Lake Champlain. So they flush Lake Champlain up to the St. Lawrence River, like Canada flushes massive amounts of sewage into the St. Lawrence River. All over New York State, you've got huge numbers of dead people because of Andy Cuomo's moronic, idiotic, insane decisions to put extremely sick people in with granny and grandpa at the senior citizens' homes. And then he hides all the public records. Just like they're hiding all the records on the flushing of sewage all over New York State. Because it's politically disgusting, it's politically embarrassing, and it's gross. New York State, the empire of the New World, the commune of New York State, uses its river system to flush vast amounts of sewage from these little shithole towns that don't have proper sewer treatment, and they flush sewage all over New York State. Now, that makes you want to run right up there and take a great big old bite out of the Big Apple, huh? New York Harbor is a giant septic tank, Andy Cuomo. And to your brother Chris Cuomo, New York Harbor and Long Island Sound and the Hudson River is nothing more than your brother's septic system. The legislature in Albany, New York, and the judges all over the United States that want to argue that New York State doesn't use its dams to flush all of this sewage are welcome to try to argue it, because those judges are full of shit too. Lots of it goes on in North Carolina, by the way. That's why they have such a mess in North Carolina, because they use the streams and the creeks and the rivers, like the Cape Fear River in Wilmington, North Carolina, is their giant whiz and poo-poo, the caca and the pee-pee flushing system right there in Wilmington, into the middle of their beachfront condo, what do they call it, tourist economy. That's where the Cape Fear River Basin gets flushed. And you see there's a lot of these investment gangsters and lawyers and these judges that are so heavily invested in this tourism crap that flushing the sewage through Wilmington and the Cape Fear River, that means billions and billions of dollars in profit to the tourism industry of North Carolina. Isn't that fascinating? Andy Cuomo and Chris Cuomo and the legislature of the state of New York, well, they're full of shit. They use New York State's waterways to flush all the sewage from their shithole little towns that don't have proper sewage treatment. Like Lake George Village, there's a good example. Lake George, New York, where they let the septic tanks drain into the lake, and then the state of New York flushes the lake using the dam number 230, also known as Dam A, or the upper privilege at Ticonderoga, where they flush the Lachute River into Lake Champlain. The giant poop chute river and the shithole Champlain there by Fort Ticonderoga. They do the same thing with the Champlain-Hudson Canal. They use the locks to flush the Hudson River into Lake Champlain. Ain't that fascinating? So, ladies and gentlemen, they hide the records, they conceal the truth, they lie about it, they cheat, they steal, they murder people. What Andy Cuomo has done in New York is murder a bunch of people with his moronic idiocy and insanity. Andy Cuomo needs to be tried and put on trial for criminally negligent homicide. God damn you people. God damn you people. And Elise Stefanik, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, the dams are breaking. Because all this flushing of sewage into New York Harbor, it's not a secret anymore. New York Harbor is nothing but a shithole, and that's why New York City, New Rochelle, Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, the whole Long Island area is the death and infection capital of the free world. Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Cuomo, you suck. And, well, there you have it, folks. New York State exposed. Sorry about that. I lost my grip on my phone. New York State exposed.